Hello, everyone. Welcome to SceneDaily.com. I'm Steve Wade, along with jaunty Jared Turner and Field Marshal Lee Montgomery. Okay, guys, the hell of a good sour cream dips at the Glen.
Best
I like
name
that.
in racing.
I like that
Worst
name.
name in...
We're not debating the name.
Okay.
Won, of course, by Tony Stewart. That was his 5th win at the Glen in the last 8 races. He now has 7 road course victories in his career, closing in on Jeff Gordon, who holds the record with 9. And, of course, Smoke is still #1 in the points. Why Smoke up there, Jared?
Darian Grubb.
There you go.
Top-notch crew chief who just happened to graduate from my alma mater, Virginia Tech.
We got to go out here.
That's beside the point. He's just got it together right now. I mean, that team is clicking, and I think momentum is so big in this sport, and it's something that they have had pretty much the entire season. They're able to battle back from adversity, much like Jimmy Johnson's team has done in recent seasons, and I think they're definitely, I don't see them letting up a bit as far as their intensity and desire heading towards the chase.
Well, again, Lee, this added to the fact that this is a first-year team with Heath's a part owner. We've talked about owner-driver situations in the past and how they're not very good, but he's making it work, and I dare say that Hendrick Motorsports has a large role in that.
Well, I don't think there's no question that if there wasn't Hendrick Motorsports involved, then Tony Stewart would not be leading the points at this point in the season. I think that's fair to say, and that's clearly done a lot for this team, and I guess it just goes to show you what very smart people, very organized people can do with the resources at their fingertips as Tony has. And let's not forget that Tony is a world-class road racer.
Yeah.
He absolutely proved that yesterday. To me, Watkins Ambrose is one of the best in the world on road courses, and Tony just flat out beat him. And so there's something to be said for that kind of talent.
And speaking of Watkins Ambrose, he did finish 2nd up there at the Glen, which was not a big surprise. He was fastest in the final practice, and as Lee is going to tell us, he won the Nationwide Series race. So, Lee, not a surprising performance by Marcus.
No, not at all. He repeated as winner up there in the Nationwide race. You know, that team this year has developed, unfortunately, into a start and park team, the JTG Doherty, the 47 Toyota bunch. They had Michael McDowell in the car for most of the year, but they kind of ran out of sponsorship money, so they've been starting and parking lately. So for Marcus to jump in that car, I guess they built that car just recently, specifically for Watkins Glen and then Montreal. It just goes to show you, again, how talented Marcus is on road courses, and they're taking that car to Montreal in a couple weeks, and he'll be the man, absolutely be the man to beat up there.
Okay, big incident among Sam Hornish and Jeff Gordon and Jeff Burton. Bad crash. Seemed to be triggered when Casey Kane sort of got underneath Sam and got loose a little bit and shoved him off the course. You know, Jared, those things, I don't think those things are prominent at road courses. They can happen, but when you see something that violent, that's pretty rare for a road course.
Yeah, it really is. It makes you step back once again and tip your hat to NASCAR just as far as what they've done with safety. My goodness, you don't see accidents like that every weekend, thankfully. But when we do, whether it's on a road course or a restrictor plate track or what have you, guys, knock on wood, tend to walk away, and NASCAR should be commended.
Okay, Kyle Busch finishes 4th at the Glen, finally gets a top 10 finish after weeks of really struggling, and he gained a little bit in the point situation. He's still 13th, but he's now 58 points back instead of well over 100. So the question is, with 4 races remaining, and there are other guys involved in this point situation, we're not just picking on Kyle, but with 4 races remaining, can he do it?
He can do it. Now, will he do it? That's another question. I don't know. The thing you got to look at is who's he going to replace? Who's he going to take the place of in the top 12? Matt Kenseth? Maybe the most logical candidate is Kenseth, because he's talked in recent weeks and pretty much all year how much his team has struggled to get the performance that they're used to. So that would be the one guy I don't know if I want to bet against him, but if there's one guy that Kyle Busch is going to jump over, it would be Matt Kenseth.
You have to say, I think it's fair to say that for Kyle Busch to get into the chase, other guys are going to have some problem. And right now you're looking from 10th to 12th, a separation of something like just 42 points. So there could be some shakeup as well going on there. But Tony Stewart, again, firmly in 1st place. So right now it looks like, unless he has a meltdown, that's where he's going to be before the points are shuffled, you know, after the race in Richmond. So Kyle Busch maybe has a shot to get in. Jeff Gordon still solidly in 3rd place. Jimmy Johnson, of course, was had a tough day at the Glen per se, but he's still in 2nd place. So I think the question is, dealing from 10th to 13th is where it's going to happen. Jared, do you agree?
I think so, and if you look at Ryan Newman, actually, though, in 9th,
right.
I sort of take that back. You know, Ryan has been a little bit hot and cold as of late. I would say more cold than hot, actually. That inconsistency worries me a little bit for his sake, and I see some vulnerability there. I could potentially see him being that guy that falls out if someone does fall out over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to follow as we go through the next 4 races. It all ends at Richmond, and the chase begins the next week at New Hampshire. Okay, that's about it for the race at the Glen. For Jared and the field marshal, I'm Steve Wade. Thanks for being with us.